great venue. I mean, when I look back on great venues in Ireland, you had the Underground Bar that Jeff Brennan ran, you had McGonagall's, which was like Evil Santa's grotto, and you had the New Park Inn, which is this great dive in the middle of nowhere. You go on the fact that it's on the edge of town. I mean, it was great. Kilkenny, you kind of went to this place, more or less in the middle of the country. You had these great bands coming in playing, and you had local bands who were as good.
Yeah.
But my favourite Kilkenny music image is there was a gig I'm pretty sure it was kind of the park involved with the castle, and there was a load of bands playing, and Tom Zuta happened to be in town that weekend. Tom Zuta's the man who signed Guns N' Roses and My Little Funhouse, and Tom wanders down to have a look at the bands, and the bands, I remember there was one band in particular, I can't remember their name, they were from either Limerick or Galway, and someone on the stage realised, fuck, it's Tom Zuta. And the word went through the bands, Tom Zuta is watching us, we're going to be signed, we're going to be new Guns N' Roses. And Tom just got bought a nice 9 and just kept on walking. That's my favourite Kilkenny story.
And Coldplay went on to great things.
do you want to read us a list of other bands before the lads give us some stories?
Well, I'm just looking at some of the bands here. Turf Birds, Grace World Street, Cross, Submission, Lovedeeds, School of Owls, these are some of the bands. Manson 69 were the next formation of the Call Babies. There was a John Lennon tribute night of 6 bands playing, and that was a brilliant night in there.
Who played that one?
I think he did, yeah.
Then you were in the Velvet Underpants.
I do remember doing I'm going to play a bit of Taxis on tape.
Do you? Yeah, absolutely. Do it.
History just people. By the magic of technology, the Kevin Brennan's tapes.
I hear a load of bands that are kind of like hot right now. A load of bands that Ian Ormond, like Richard Dunn, is looking to sign. You know, I mean, that kind of like that sound hasn't gone away.
No, it hasn't gone away. And we did one gig later on in our New Park Inn career where we tried to recreate Meatloaf's Spat Out of Hell, and I brought a Honda 50 up on stage at the end of the gig, and because the venue was so small, the smoke from the exhaust pretty much cleared everybody out. Fond memory.
Beat that cunts.
I remember one time we came down and there was no PA for us there, whatever, the wires got crossed, and we had like half an hour to go on stage, and I think actually it was Stephen. Did you come over with a PA? Stephen from I forget, and I just got it together within 20 minutes, got it all up, and suddenly, like, it was just amazing, like, how many people would just suddenly appear, like, within half an hour, like, we had an empty venue, no PA, and suddenly we had, like, literally within 35 minutes, it was just everybody dancing from the first song, like, so just kind of good memory, Cool, what's that?
Cormac? What stands out in your mind?
I can't remember the name of the band, but it could have been the Crawl Babies with a bunch of other people as well, and I was a gig in the New Park Inn. And there was this gentleman known locally as Wad. Some people here know him. He wasn't a particularly musical gentleman. He played no instrument whatsoever. But his role in the evening's entertainment was he had a deep fat fryer on stage. So the band were playing and he had a deep fat fryer and he was making chips and sausages and stuff for the audience as the band were playing. So, Bez, eat your heart out, I thought this should have been incorporated. And I think that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's one of my abiding memories. And the New Park Inn also was just dancing around to Loaded by Primal Scream. That was just the fucking total soundtrack to that time. And we just thought nowhere else mattered except where we were.
Okay. That's a really good line to end it with as well. Any questions from the floor? Any observations from the floor? Anyone heard anything libelous from what they just heard?
Come on.
No. Jeez, that's great. We've covered Kilkenny music. Okay. Huge round of applause and thanks. Canice,